question is from Thunderbolt. I have a detached garage and I turned it into a gym. I'm in the Northeast and the winters are rough. My garage has no heat. Are there any dangers as far as injuries when working out in freezing temperatures?
Oh, I love this question. First and foremost, training in...
It's like Rocky training in
work for Rocky.
In the freezer.
Work for Rocky.
Don't get me excited, bro.
Oh, I'm the boss.
Oh, man, the scene where he's fucking jogging up the mountain and he's Drago.
Yeah.
You guys got me pumped. No, here's the thing. Are there risks associated with training in more extreme temperatures, whether it be heat or cold? Definitely. With heat, you can get, you can overheat, you can become dehydrated, you can pass out. With cold, the central nervous system tends to tighten things up. Injuries like muscle pulls and strains tend to be more common. Of course, in extreme conditions, you could get hyperthermia or whatever. But here's the deal: if you're okay, if you treat it with a lot of respect. If you go outside in the freezing temperature and you're bundled up and you start to peel things down as you warm up, if you wear gloves so you don't freeze your hands to the bar. I actually had a client who did that once, went out and tried to lift weights.
Froze the hands to the bar?
And no, he hurt his hands because the bar was so cold and especially if you sweat and you get sweat stuck to cold metal, not a good thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
But if you treat it all, very carefully, you're not going to hit your best PRs. You're not going to have necessarily your best workouts, but you are going to train your body.
You're going to build some grit.
Fuck yeah. And the body's ability to acclimate to temperature, it's a muscle, just like your biceps and your triceps, and you can get better at it by training this way. And some of my most fondest memories of working out are all revolved around working out in hot weather, out in my backyard in California, out in the sun, having to take my shirt off, having to pour water on myself while I'm working out. Like, those were some of my absolute favorite workouts. So there are some risks. You got to treat it. You got to be smart about it.
Yeah, spend a little bit of time warming up. Right, I think there's a lot more value to this. This is where it does make sense. Like, you see people that do like the generic warm up when they come in the gym. That's perfectly temperatured, right? Like, they go in and they do the 10-minute warm up like you used to have your clients do. This has value to that. Like, if it's fucking 10 below and you're in your garage, you can see your breath. Like, getting a nice little 10-minute warm up and getting the heart rate going and getting your body temperature up and then getting into your exercise makes total sense to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Well, you played football, Justin. What about when you played? Because football, they don't fucking cancel games for shit,
you can't.
Right?
And there's this one time, and we've definitely been thrown outside to lift weights in like extreme conditions too, just because our coach was kind of a dick sometimes and was like, you guys need to bear it and deal with it. And like, I mean, half of football is like that mental discipline in that I can overcome all these obstacles, whatnot. So I remember vividly there was this one time. So we practiced sometimes just with our shoulder pads on, our helmet, but we wear shorts. And so this is sort of like light contact kind of day, like you do drills and stuff, but like it's getting close to game week. And so we're outside and the weather was fine. It was like, I want to say like, 65, something a little brisk. And all of a sudden, like a weather front comes in, lightning, all this stuff, hail started to go, which the lightning stopped. We normally had to cancel practice only because of lightning, because that was a risk. But it started to hail and then quickly turned into like freezing winds. And the wind chill, like, I can't even tell you, like, that's the coldest I've ever been in my entire life. It felt like...
That's how you lost your left nipple?
Explains so much now.
Poor lefty, man. He suffered the cause there, where we're outside in shorts, and we're just like, that was the only time where I'm like, I'm not much of a complainer. But like, I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like, can we go get some Under Armour on or something, And like the coach is out there and he's in like a t-shirt and shorts and just like loving it. Like looking at us in the eye, like, stick your face in it, stick your face in it. And I'm just like, I don't know about that, dude. Like, I'm dying. He made us stay an extra hour of practice just to kind of like prove a point that the human body can withstand the elements like that. And like, so again, like there's another level. I think there's value in that, kind of like the Dr. Andy Galpin sort of mentality, where it's like sometimes you can push the envelope to see that there is more capacity, more ability to get through more of this extreme. And I think it really did, like,
You know
it
what?
sucked, but it was good.
There's something to be said about the mental toughness that you develop through resistance training. Even if you work out in a climate-controlled gym, that's part of your training. Part of the training that you get is you get acclimated to pain. You get acclimated to struggle. You know, when you get a new client who's never lifted weights, and they're like, "Oh my God, I can't do anymore." But you, as a trainer, who I know, I could always come down to rep. I know exactly how many more reps a person has, especially after I've trained them for a month or so. I could tell, like, "Oh, you actually have 5 more reps." People are like, "I can't do anymore," and I'd be like, "You have like 10 more reps." They're just not used to the pain. They don't have that mental toughness anymore, and that gives you a lot of value in everyday life. Like, you go train in the gym, you lift heavy things, you get stronger. You know, life doesn't seem as hard when you go do things in everyday life. It just makes you tougher. So throwing an element like this, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I can see my breath, it's cold and I can see it, or if I'm sweating so much because it's hot, there's another gear that turns on. And it all of a sudden makes me, I don't know, I thrive a little bit.
Where anger helps.
Yes, and you have those better workouts, you know. So I'll say, you know, are there risks for injuries? Yeah, do a proper warm up. Be careful. Put on a coat or whatever, but nah, man, it's gonna make you tougher.
Get it.